Good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. Today I want to talk about exercise. I know this is everybody's favorite topic. And as soon as you breathe a word about exercise, especially on social media, to the first responder community, you're going to get everything from, oh yeah, we need to be doing CrossFit every day, to, oh my God, I hate going to the gym. Why are you shaming me? I hear it all the fucking time. There's like no middle ground. And it's frustrating because this is a conversation that, yes, it's important. And yes, there's a lot of objective truth to it. But there's a lot of nuance that people just outright dismiss and don't want to actually engage in. So, why is exercise important for the first responder community and EMS specifically? Well, and I know this is an older statistic, and unfortunately, I just haven't taken the time to go and look and see what it is. But I know when I first got into this, and I'm sure the numbers are worse now because of call volume and staffing and all the rest of it. When I first got into EMS, 1 in every 4 EMTs or paramedics had a career-ending back injury within their first 4 years. So I'd say that fitness is kind of important. And no, you don't need to be competing in a Mr. Olympia. There's no need to go overboard on it. If that's what you want to do, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to go that far. We need to be striving for more. We need to be staying active, not just for, because it's what everybody says we should do. There's positive impacts on your mental health from exercise. There's undeniable data on how important it is for your physical health. We're not built to be sedentary. And, a lot of people are like, oh, well, we have such a physical job. Yeah, we do, kind of, but it's very, incidental. So, and again, some of these depend on what kind of service you worked for. In general, in my career, when I've done like interfacility transport, that was a way more physically demanding job than doing 911. Because 911 had a lot more acute, emergent movements, but interfacility had a lot more walking. It had a lot of patients that couldn't move themselves. So you had to move them. You didn't have the option of, oh, all right, can you just, stand up real quick and sit down on our stretcher? No, we didn't have that option. So I would say, especially in 911, you got to lift a patient here, push a stretcher there. Yes, you sort of are getting exercise, but all you can do is look around and you can tell it's not enough to stay in shape. I'm not trying to body shame, fat shame, whatever. I'm not a super skinny dude. Haven't been for years. I've lost a lot of weight recently, thankfully, and I want to keep that trend going. But you don't have to be a supermodel to be healthy. The question becomes, what can you do on a small habitual scale to increase your longevity, protect your health, and the health of those around you? Now, I have found, as I have done more strength training over the years, whether calisthenics or free weights or whatever, either one, both have had the same benefits. Body weight exercises versus dumbbells and, machines, whatever. The net effect is the same. You are more physically capable in doing your job, and you're protecting yourself from injury because you are protecting the sensitive parts of your body. Your joints are getting strengthened. You're able to lift more appropriately because you're used to that coordinated muscle engagement that you don't normally have day to day just by doing this job. It's not something you have without practice. So being able to throw weight around is going to help you because you can carry your bags effectively. So many times I've heard an excuse for why people can't bring in all their gear is, oh, well, the bags are too heavy. Well, go lift some fucking weights. Problem solved. You need to be able to do your job. You can control how physically active you are, and you can go get stronger. It's not complicated. So stop making the excuse and make being lazy, justified by some kind of physical constraint. Sure, it's one thing if you've been injured and you have a permanent lifting restriction. Nobody can argue that. But when perfectly healthy, able-bodied people are saying, oh, that's too heavy for me, go lift some more weights. Gym memberships are cheap. We got enough 24-hour gyms out there anyway. You can go to the fucking gym. But it's not just about your physical well-being. There's a mental component to it too. When you're exercising, you're getting all these hormone dumps. You're getting this endorphin release, and it's doing nothing but benefiting you. When you have that kind of activity, your brain is positively responding to it because that's something that's helping you reset your dopamine, because dopamine operates on a pain pleasure balance. So what we tend to do, especially in EMS in our downtime, is we lean heavy on the pleasure. Something as simple as scrolling through TikTok. Each time you flip to the next video, you're looking for a dopamine hit. You're front loading all that pleasure, and then your body just drops to pain by default because you're not giving it anything. It has to balance. It has to strike that biochemical balance. And by exercising, you're actually front loading that. And it's better for your body to have the pain first. Then the pleasure comes afterwards. When you do pain, then pleasure, the pleasure is much, much, much better, much more enjoyable, much longer lasting, and keeps a good balance in your body. But when you're leaning away from the pain and constantly over to the pleasure, and even if you get a little bit of pain, we're trying to jump straight back to pleasure. All that becomes is a vicious cycle of a negative coping mechanism. And you're going to become more exhausted, more irritable. Your mental health is going to take a dive, and you're just going to feel like shit because of it. So, exercising is about a lot more than just can I run fast, lift heavy, all of that. It is truly helping you manage and rewire your biochemistry. And I think there's an element of the analysis paralysis that gets people. They are intimidated, they go to a gym, and they're like, oh my God, there's so much shit here. What the fuck do I do? The best advice I've ever heard is go find something heavy, pick it up correctly, put it down, and repeat. As you try, as you experiment with things, you will learn what your body needs and what it doesn't. It's not hard to be in tune with your body. It's really not. You'll find out what your body needs and doesn't need. You will be surrounding yourself with people who are on the same journey and people who know more than you. So you can learn a lot from other people. Some of the most crucial exercises I do now were taught to me from friends of mine at the gym. And so you can gain the knowledge you need and work through what you should and shouldn't be doing. But you can't do that if you never go, if you never try. Now, there's other options. If let's say you live too far from a gym, or the closest thing is a YMCA that's $100 a month. Okay, fair. I get that. There are so many home workout options for you that are either free or close to it. And the only difficulty is you holding yourself accountable to do those things and make the time for it. A lot of us feel better because we go to the gym. It's like, okay, well, everything's here for me. All I have to do is allot the time and show up, and I can figure it out from there. Whereas at home, you have all your distractions at home. You have all your responsibilities at home. You have any number of excuses as to why you can't do it. But if that's what you need, cool. Personally, I have found that bodyweight exercising works great, especially if you work 24-hour shifts and you're someone who works overtime and you have some downtime to use. Bodyweight training is the best fucking thing you can do. Yoga is absolutely amazing. Now I do it because if I don't stretch every once in a while, my joints are going to get fucking stiff. But yoga is one of the most powerful exercise programs that you can have working in EMS. It literally is perfect. You become your own chiropractor basically, and it's free. All you gotta do is do a little bit of digging, some tutorials, make sure your technique is correct, learn, and do it, and you will be fine. So this is the beautiful thing about this conversation, because there's so much nuance to it. All you need to do is a certain amount of activity, ideally every day, even if it's only 30, 45 minutes. I'm pretty sure you spend several hours in a day watching TikTok, watching YouTube, scrolling through Facebook. Pretty sure most people can find 30 to 45 minutes in their day to go do something physically active, even if it's just walking up and down your street. That's it. If that's all you do, cool. You're already doing more than at least half the fucking population of the country. But it all boils down to you need to take responsibility for your well-being. Because if you don't, it's going to deteriorate. In general, and speaking especially for the guys, once we hit our early 30s, things start to change a little bit. And especially working in EMS, there's some time dilation. You definitely feel it once you get into your 30s. And so that's all the more reason that you need to be more aggressive about taking care of yourself and being physical and protecting your body, because you're going to start running out of steam. You only get that energy, that full on energy from your 20s for so long before your body starts to adapt to older age. And anyone I've seen who has had any reasonable longevity, they have taken care of what they eat, but also their activity. And the most consistent thing I've seen, especially from elderly men, is walking. They go walk for miles every day. Those guys have the best cognitive health, best physical health, genetics notwithstanding, obviously. People are prone to certain things. But in general, that's the trend I see. And I would much rather be on that side of the trend than being part of the zipper club in my 50s, having a stroke in my 40s. I don't want that. I already don't like the fact that I'm on any kind of prescription medication. But it is what it is. There comes a point where, essential oils can only do so fucking much. But you have to take responsibility for your health and well-being. And this is particularly relevant to EMS because we are injury prone. We are a danger prone field. And we need to be stepping up and taking responsibility for that. So my number one takeaway for today, to steal from Papa Swoley on Facebook, go to the fucking gym. Whether that gym is your living room, Planet Fitness, Crunch, YMCA, don't give a shit. Go to the fucking gym. That's all I got for you guys. Be safe. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.